Now at 5 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, a new poll shows most Americans want stricter gun control laws. And one teenager is dead and another was hurt in a shooting outside an Atlanta high school. Plus, the Texas state legislature passed 2 election bills that Democrats say is targeting Harris County.
Showers have finally moved into the Crossroads with severe thunderstorms down there in Corpus Christi. We'll talk all about that and more.
Thanks, Howie. Plus, veterans come together to honor those who sacrificed their lives for our country on Memorial Day. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon and thanks for being with us. I'm Karina Garcia. James Munoz has the day off. Veteran organizations from across the region came together in a solemn ceremony to recognize those who gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect our country. Giving the Memorial Day address was General Clint Anderson. He moved to Victoria several years ago from Arlington, Virginia. He gives fellow veterans this advice when it becomes difficult thinking about those who didn't make it back home alive.
They need to remember people sacrificed for them, and to drive on. You don't take a shortcut. You know, think about those and
The ceremony also included placing the wreaths, 13 in total, each representing an area veteran organization. Lise Weaver, the Victoria County Veteran Council chairman, gave the opening remarks and led the Pledge of Allegiance, which was followed by a powerful performance of the national anthem by Kevin R. Gaskin. Memorial Day services will take place this evening at 8:15 p.m. at the Field of Honor. There will be a flag retirement ceremony and a reading of the 441 names of the Golden Crescent Patriots who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving in the military, encompassing World War I and II and the Korean and Vietnam Wars, as well as Operation Iraq Freedom and Operation Enduring Freedom. A 16-year-old girl was shot and killed at an Atlanta high school early Sunday morning. She was at a party celebrating graduation. A 16-year-old boy was also shot and taken to the hospital. He's now in stable condition.
What started as a celebration after Mays High School students graduated 3 days ago ended in tragedy.
Those are phone calls and conversations we don't like to have. But this morning my heart goes out to both families and definitely to the family of the decedent. This young lady was full of life and was actually expected to be working for the city of Atlanta starting on Tuesday in our summer youth employment program. So we ask for your prayers.
That young lady is 16-year-old Breasia Powell. Atlanta Public Schools says young people were throwing an unauthorized party in the high school's driveway when someone shot Powell and another rising junior. He's in the hospital recovering, but Powell didn't make it. This is Mayor Andre Dickens' alma mater. He sends this message to the youth.
We want you to be safe. We want you to make quality decisions about where you spend your time and who you spend your time with. Late in the evening, after midnight, being able to figure out a way to go back home versus to find another destination to hang out and party.
Atlanta police is still investigating what led up to the shooting. However, homicide detective Andrew Smith says they believe multiple high school age students were involved. Mayor Dickens says there weren't just Mays High School students at this party, but young people from other districts as well.
We have always provided a safe and secure environment for our students. And we're going to continue to do that. We're going to continue to collaborate with the Atlanta Police Department to bring these subjects into justice.
District leaders say mental health counselors will be at the school Tuesday, but no word on any suspects or arrests. A new poll reports most Americans say gun control laws should be generally stricter, with broad support for preventing anyone under the age of 21 from buying a gun. The poll finds 64% favor stricter gun control laws, while 36% are opposed, similar to a survey taken last summer following the mass shooting at the Uvalde Elementary School. The White House received lower marks for its approach to gun policy, with just 30% of Americans approving of President Joe Biden's handling of the issue. And so this brings us to your viewer poll. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, what percentage do you fall in for stricter gun control laws? Are you in the 64% favoring stricter gun laws or 36% opposed to stricter laws? We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 6. And now let's take a look at your forecast with meteorologist Howie Gordon.
Thanks, Karina. Okay, so I've been talking about rain. Mac and I, Trey's out of town this week, but Mac and I have been talking about rain all week. We're finally seeing some, but there's stable air sinking stable air overpowering the destabilized air that wants to go up in the air. So yeah, our showers have been kind of heavy in times, but widely scattered, not covering up a good portion of the viewing area. It looks as the sun is kind of powering up the atmosphere, things are starting to mix a little, starting to generate some more showers. We have severe weather, strong thunderstorms down in the Corpus Christi area, but for now in the Crossroads, yeah, we're just seeing some scattered areas of some heavy rain, with most areas staying on the drier side. We're going to talk more about that coming up in just a little bit. Karina?
Thanks, Howie. The Texas state legislature passed 2 bills on Sunday authorizing the state's Secretary of State to order administrative oversight of county elections office if a complaint is filed. The measure would affect any county with a population of more than 4 million people. Harris County currently meets the criteria and has leaned Democratic in recent elections. Voting rights activists are saying this is a power grab, but Republican leaders say their move is to provide voters with confidence in their elections. Harris County experienced election problems last year, causing the former elections administrator to resign. Days after a South Carolina firefighter was killed in the line of duty, people are paying tribute to the 25-year-old. Those who knew him best say he was one in a million.
Sunday morning, firefighters from the Irmo Fire Department and those in Casey, West Columbia, Lexington, and Batesburg, Leesville stood at attention this morning as Mueller's procession drove by. In Irmo, a tribute at the Irmo Fire District.
It's just the right thing to do to honor this man. He lost his life. It was an ultimate sacrifice that he was trying to save people from a fire.
Autry's granddaughter, just one of those, laying flowers at the memorial of 25-year-old Mueller. Mueller was one of the firefighters who responded to a massive fire at the Tropical Ridge Apartments Friday evening.
He was one in a million. I don't think we're ever going to find another one like him again.
Dedicated, passionate, and full of joy are the words Mueller's firefighter family used to describe him.
It's an oath. It's a commitment. And to live it. Have fun. It's the best job in the world.
His impact was profound. He would drag you kicking and screaming into greatness. He oozed it, and you couldn't help but absorb it when you worked with him. He made me a better firefighter.
Mueller joined the Irmo Fire Department 7 years ago as an intern and was hired straight out of high school and impressed the department.
He was never not a firefighter. He packed more life into his 25 years than most of us can pack into a lifetime.
I know every morning that early he's going to pop his head right in my door and say, "Hey boss, what music do you listen to this weekend? Here's what you got to hear." And we'd exchange music, a 25-year-old and a 60-plus-year-old sharing the same music.
In Irmo, I'm Kiana Jordan. Watch Fox News, Local First.
The teenager who was shot after knocking on the door of the wrong home participated in a walk on Memorial Day to benefit those suffering with brain injuries. Ralph Yarl was shot last month after he showed up at the wrong home looking for his younger siblings. Yarl and several family members took part in the Going the Distance for Brain Injury event this morning. This was the first public event since being shot. 84-year-old Andrew Lester was charged with first-degree murder, assault, and armed criminal action. He has pleaded not guilty in the case. For more on today's news stories, come to crossroadstoday.com. Catch up on the latest surrounding Ken Paxton's impeachment in a Texas Tribune Capitol report. That's going to be under news. Alrighty, stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News now at 5. A shootout between a rival motorcycle gang at a rally in New Mexico leaves 3 people hurt and 5 dead. Also ahead, Russian ballistic missiles fell onto Ukraine's capital Monday. Russian missiles fell onto Kyiv Monday. Debris from missiles intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses fell in Kyiv's central and northern districts. Authorities said the missile fragments landed in the middle of traffic on a city road and also set a building's roof on fire. At least one civilian was hurt. Air defenses brought down more than 40 targets during the previous night as Russian forces bombarded Kyiv with a combination of drones and cruise missiles. It's their 15th nighttime attack on the capital this month. Now, at least 3 people were killed and 5 others hurt at a motorcycle rally in New Mexico. Authorities say the shooting started after a confrontation between rival motorcycle gangs, and those involved are now in custody.
It's going to be a long ride home. We have people all over the state looking for them.
Those are the words New Mexico State Police Chief Tim Johnson has for anyone with retaliation on the mind after a mass shooting rocked Red River this Memorial Day weekend, all attributed to a gang dispute between the Banditos and Water Dogs that started 3 hours south.
It was in Albuquerque, and what we're being told, it was over somebody taking a picture with a different gang. It's something as stupid as that.
Cell phone video shows the massive police response at the 41st annual Red River Motorcycle Rally Saturday. Now, a beefed up law enforcement presence, leftover crime scene tape, and 3 killed, others in the hospital. 3 people now facing charges. Chief Johnson identified 30-year-old Jacob Castillo, a Rio Rancho man and an alleged Water Dog gang member charged with murder.
Started with words initially, then turned into a fight, which then turned to shots fired.
2 Texas men also arrested, 41-year-old Christopher Garcia and 39-year-old Matthew Jackson. Investigators say one of them is a local Bandito leader in Texas. Officials believe they have everyone involved, but early Sunday still going through the scene, littered with hundreds of motorcycles, cars, and bullet casings.
And thankfully, as far as we know so far, no innocent folks were hurt. Just gangbanger on gangbanger.
This was a scary scene in Florida over the weekend. A car plowed into the water on Saturday. The county sheriff's office there says the driver was speeding down the beach in a park. The car got close to several families and their dogs, almost hitting a child. The driver, a 26-year-old woman, was charged with a DUI and reckless driving, but thankfully nobody was hurt. Today is the unofficial start of summer, and sunscreen is a great tool to protect your skin from the sun, but experts say many people may not be applying it correctly.
It's that time of year again when many are out enjoying the warmer weather, but protecting your skin is critical.
Sunscreen is the most common and one of the easiest ways to do it. We just have to remember to use our sunscreens.
Dermatologist Susan Masick with the Ohio State University's Wexner Medical Center says sunscreen mistakes are often made when applying it.
They assume they can just apply it when they're already at their activity or they're already at the pool or the beach, but you actually have to apply it about 10 to 15 minutes beforehand. You also have to remember to reapply every 2 to 3 hours.
If you're swimming or sweating, you'll need to reapply even more often. Masick says mineral sunblock may be easier on sensitive skin, but the best kind of sunscreen is the one you'll actually use.
We want to make sure that we're using the type that is both UVA and UVB protective, so it's broad spectrum protection.
Masick says another mistake is not using enough sunscreen. She says you can never put on too much.
We tend to quantify by 2 ping pong balls worth of sunscreen and apply it all over. You want to make sure that you apply to all the areas that are exposed, whether it's your face, your ears, hands, feet.
And don't forget, sunscreens expire. Masick says to replace them every year. For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
In Mississippi, authorities are searching for 2 escaped inmates. Michael Lewis and Joseph Spring, both 31, were discovered missing during this morning's official head count at the Raymond Detention Center in Hinds County.
We believe that they were able to get access to an air duct within the facility, which led to the exterior of the facility, where they were able to go over a fence and escape the facility as well.
Authorities later found a breach in the facility.
We stay dry most of our holiday weekend, but hey, some showers have moved into the area. We're going to talk all about it straight ahead. right, happy Memorial Day, everyone. Hope everyone is having a safe, fun, fantastic, wonderful holiday. Now, 86, yeah, we were there, but with the clouds, the rain, temperatures have kind of been jumping up and down a little bit. We were as low as 78, shooting back up into the low 80s, but with the sunshine getting blocked out, yeah, temperatures kind of jump around on the cooler side overall. All right, showers today and Tuesday. We're starting to see them move into the crossroads. We'll dry off later in the week, then showers potentially arrive again for next weekend. So we didn't make it up to 88 today, but we're cooling down as cloud cover moves in. And again, some of the showers cooling the area down, cooling the ground down, thus dropping temperatures a little bit. We've been as warm as 98 back in 1912, but we know that's right. We could easily be in the mid-90s this time of year. So here's our radar. Now, what's going on? We're seeing some heavy pockets here and there, but you see most of the gaps wide open. Most of the viewing area not seeing these showers. What's going on is we've had stable air. Stable air is sinking air. Unstable air, rising air. The stable air, the sinking air is overpowering everything. So yeah, we're just not seeing the overall heavy downpour that we've been expecting. Again, with the stable air overpowering most of the atmosphere. We are seeing some severe weather down in the Corpus Christi area. I'm keeping an eye on everything here in the crossroads. We are seeing some areas and pockets of some heavy rain, but nothing really too bad in terms of thunderstorm activity at the moment. But as the sun continues to beat down on the ground in the atmosphere, we can start to see some more mixing of the air. And hey, things can change, and I'm going to keep an eye on it for you. Here's our dew points. Yeah, on the stuffy side, yeah, 70s in some portions of the area. Here's our wind. So here's what we got. So some areas, there could be some storms starting to develop as we see winds picking up. Up to the north of Gonzales, I was seeing 22-mile-per-hour gusts. That's since calmed down. But really, overall, lighter winds. But I'm thinking, I'm going to take a closer look. There's some storms starting to develop in the area here where winds are starting to pick up. All right, here is what we have. We have all this destabilized air and moisture pushing in, meeting up with some of this Gulf moisture. That collision is creating some convergence and some uplift, bringing us some showers. But again, it's not that heavy overall. It's widespread. Some areas seeing some heavy rain, other areas not seeing it. But high pressure is going to move a little closer again. We'll see high pressure moving down from the north as well. And after really Tuesday, we start to dry off for really the better part of the week with high pressure controlling our atmosphere. Another thing is with our atmosphere, we kind of have high pressure mixed in with storms that's slowing down the overall heavy rain that we've been expecting for days and days and days. But we're going to dry off, and I talked about it, showers can arrive again for the weekend. All right, here's what we're looking at. Yeah, it's not really looking like this at the moment. It's really widespread. This model here is showing us heavy rain all over the viewing area. That's really not the case. Then late tonight, we look to dry off a little, then we can see a few showers again on Tuesday. But after Tuesday, yeah, we look to dry off really right through the rest of the work week. All right, for our marine forecast, here is what we have. You're out on the water today. Things are on the calm side still, 2 feet, bays smooth, water temperature 82. But yeah, most of the week, the rain is really the biggest impact. We're getting water temperatures 78, 82 degrees. Winds really not too bad overall. So for tropical weather at the moment, yeah, nothing expected over the course of the next 2 days. Overnight, 69 degrees, mostly cloudy. I got a 40% chance we see some of those showers as the sun continues to destabilize the atmosphere. And then for tomorrow, here's what we got, 89, partly sunny. We start to dry off, and we're not seeing any heavy stuff just yet, but looking ahead, here is what we have. I talked about it. Rain for Tuesday. We dry off then for a good portion of the week. Maybe showers return again over the weekend. For more weather news and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com. That is free with any Android and iPhone. And now we send it back to Karina.
Thanks, Howie. Coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at Wall Street, plus President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy meet once again to discuss raising the debt ceiling. President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy met in the Oval Office today to discuss raising the debt ceiling. Biden had agreed a bipartisan agreement was needed since they have to sell a deal to both sides of the political aisle. Also, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told McCarthy in a letter it's, quote, highly likely the agency won't be able to pay all of its bills in full and on time as early as June 1st. It reinforces her warning to Congress that there is only a little time left to address the debt ceiling before the nation defaults on its own obligations. This year is another summer of higher pay for teenage workers. With the labor market still tight, wages at places that typically hire teens for the summer, like amusement parks, restaurants, and retailers, are up 5% compared to last year. All right, stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, Governor Abbott makes his address for Memorial Day in Georgetown. We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon, Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Governor Greg Abbott honored the men and women of the United States Armed Forces who sacrificed their lives for the nation during a Memorial Day ceremony at the Georgetown Williams County Veterans Memorial Plaza. He delivered his remarks to a crowd of over 2,500, which included veterans. During his speech, Governor Abbott thanked the Texas National Guard for their help in keeping the southern border safe. He was joined by U.S. Congressman John Carter, First Lieutenant Dan Klutz, and Major General Steve McCloy and other service members during this ceremony. Alrighty, and now we do have time for one more look at the weather with meteorologist Howie. Howie, we're gonna have some barbecue weather because I know it's sprinkling out there a little bit.
Yeah, some areas you saw the radar. We're seeing a little bit of rain, but so far not a washout to really deviate or allow someone to deviate from their plans. But I can't say it won't change. But I talked with Karina a little bit ago off camera. There's high pressure here. There's low pressure storms. They're kind of battling it out. And for the most part, high pressure is keeping us on the drier side. But we are seeing some showers in portions of the viewing area. So for now, I say keep partying away for one of the grilliest holidays of the year. Overnight will drop down to 69. I still got a 40% chance of some showers. And again, we're seeing some in parts of the viewing area. Then for tomorrow, here's what we got. 89 degrees, partly sunny. Okay, a chance of showers. Eventually, though, they're going to move off. We're going to dry off for a good portion of the week. And then potentially rain comes in again for the weekend. Karina?
Alrighty, thanks Howie, and thank you for being with us. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today Plus, and we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next, but you already knew that.